and how the internet did react to the game. And first up is breaking news. My sources are telling me maybe close to something happening in the final hours of the transfer window. All the sources coming together.
The calf sources, I love that as well. I love it's not like the HP and the ketchup Heinz. It's like proper calf, like dodgy sources. I love that.
God. Anyway, Hotspur report says the best thing come to those who wait. Xavi Simons over Eze is proving the best decision every single day. Absolutely, man. It's all working out. It is all working out.
Well, has Eze got more goals in one game than Xavi has in this season?
Yeah, look, Eze's probably got more goals across the whole season, but like he can't get a look in at Arsenal.
Absolutely.
And it's not exactly like Odegaard is performing out of his skin, is he?
Yeah, Xavi's just getting better and better as well. So, and he's younger. And I think that's the crucial thing. He's got more years ahead of him. He's got a brighter future. Eze is on the decline.
Yeah.
Come on.
Eze's in the mud, man, and Xavi is just flourishing right now. So when they said let it all work out, they weren't being wrong, mate. They weren't being wrong. Tetrunk. I don't know. Did you see this Pep interview after the game? He was rattled, man.
Absolutely.
He was proper rattled. This Pape Sarr is just in his head.
Is he biting his lip because he likes the look of it, or is that angry? I can't tell. I can't tell what the message is. But brilliant.
Pep was proper rattled. Pep is always rattled at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, it's fine. And you saw Rodri as well, his interview.
Yeah.
He said it's not fair. They're all against us. We didn't talk about that, by the way, really in the review, but he should have been sent off. He got so lucky.
Yeah, we mentioned it.
We made two challenges. How he didn't get sent off?
Yeah, I don't know. They were both bookable offences.
He's so protected. Like for all the complaints he has.
Romero would have got sent off.
Easy.
Yeah. Matt 1882 Matt saying 75th minute walkout, you lot should be ashamed. And yeah, look, I spoke about this a bit on the match review yesterday. There was no protest prior to the game in the South Stand concourse. There was no walkout. There was no nothing yesterday.
And there's proof of it.
And like the way
to be fair, you're kind of setting yourself up to fail a bit, considering we scored on the 71st, didn't we?
Yeah, but
so it's never, people are never going to leave the game.
The 75th minute walkout isn't the most disappointing thing. That's the thing that gets the most headlines because, like, it's a bold thing. Yeah. It's a bold thing to try and do. But the protests prior to the game have been getting traction. Last season, it got massive traction. A couple of weeks ago, yeah, it wasn't as big, but at least like 100 people were there and stuff. This time, zilch.
And I thought yesterday was probably a good time to do it, considering it's deadline day today. So, puts a bit of more added incentive, added pressure just for them to do something. But didn't really happen, did it, yesterday?
No.
At all. So,
I just don't think there's an appetite for it. That's what it seems like right now.
I feel like there's a great call yesterday, Daniel, or was it Hugo? I'm trying to remember who exactly made the point. I think it was Hugo called in. And he said at the moment, like, now Levy's gone, obviously, like, if you're, us who live and breathe this, Tottenham, and we talk about it every day, like, you could know who the real problems are and what's really going on at the club, or we have an idea, Enoch is still Enoch, essentially, and you can put your eye towards them. But if you're just like, a casual fan, which when you got to, protest, you've got to get a lot of, people engaged in it. It's hard to know where to point a finger in terms of the blame at the moment because, Levy was the eye of so many people's kind of criticism. Now, like the message when beforehand was Enoch out, Levy out, really, wasn't it? Levy out, Levy getting gone. He's a problem. Now he's gone. I feel like the messaging from Change for Tottenham is now a bit muddled. Not their fault. I think Enoch out is the message, but it's like, okay, what are we calling for? Is it more money spent? Is it a footballing kind of project? Okay, what is a footballing project? Is it plans in place? Okay, they're telling us there are plans in place, but then we don't really see evidence of it. But do these plans, take time to come to fruition and all this kind of stuff? So it's hard to kind of nail down exactly what we're calling for because it's very, very muddled, which leads to mixed messaging, which leads to a lot of people saying, okay, what am I protesting?
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably...
Whereas before it was very easy, Levy out.
Yeah, I think it's pretty spot on. But I think, like, you're looking at the direction of the club, and it just seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. You know, we were talked about all this investment and ambition that we were going to show in this January transfer window. The ambition has probably been less than ever, you know, this January transfer window. You know, Levy at least was able to get us a couple in every January. You know, last summer brought us in Tel and Danso. A couple years back, Kulusevski and Bentancur. So at least like we actually showed more ambition back then than that we've been showing now. But then on the flip side of that, we were probably more of an attractive proposition back then than we are now. And I always said in this window, it's always going to be hard to attract the kind of quality that we're going to need in this transfer window. And I think that's probably what's come to pass. So, and that was the same in the summer. I know we got some decent players in the summer, but you saw Eze, we were going for him. He rejected us. Gibbs White, what happened with him happened. Brian Mbeumo, he chose to go to Manchester United over coming to Tottenham, even though we were the one with Champions League football and they had no European football at all. So Spurs are struggling to bring in the required quality. That is the reality.
Yep. And I think there's a few reasons for that. I think the position we're in, you know, we're trying to sell teams a project here, and there's no real project to believe in at the moment.
See, like, I heard a lot in the summer and at the start of this season, like, winning the Europa League is something that we can build off, and it's something that we need to keep that momentum going. But
it should be.
Yeah, fine, it should be. But then again, you've got players who we've been going for, and they're choosing the team that we beat in the final over coming to us, and a team that have no European football, and a team that also looked like they were on not such a great trajectory, and it looked like a complete mess there. So
because they sold them a project. Look, you know, I know it's not worked out, but first of all, rebuilding one of the biggest clubs in England, getting them back to former glory, but also it's like we've got Amorim. Yes, it's been hard for him, you know, for the first 6 months, but we're sticking by him. This is the project. You fit in the team here. Blah blah blah. At Tottenham we've just sacked the manager who won the cup. There's no, you know, we're selling a new project with like Thomas Frank, who's, you know, a manager coming from Brentford. We don't know how that's going to go. It's a tougher sell, I feel, than Man United.
Well, it isn't, and particularly for the case in point of Brian Mbeumo, like, Thomas Frank's the guy that made him. Thomas Frank will know how to get the absolute best out of him in the you know, project moving forward. You know, so Brian Mbeumo was under Thomas Frank. That's where he made his name. So that should be an easier sell to him than it should be to go to Manchester United.
Or maybe he knows Frank better than us.
Yeah, maybe
that's why he decided not to come.
But I mean, he literally made him.
He made him at Brentford, but doesn't mean he believes that Frank's the right guy for a bigger club. Maybe he do that.
Yeah, that's also true. But again, I just think it just shows where Tottenham are at right now when we're going for these kind of players and they're just rejecting us out of hand. And it shows it's not as simple as just building off a Europa League win.
That by itself, that should help because it gives you Champions League football. So, but it's up to you to sell that as something to build off. But we didn't do a good enough job of doing that. But I think obviously the Europa League win should, in theory, be a platform to build off because you've got Champions League football, and you can obviously look to be at Xavi if we didn't win the Europa League. Probably not.
But I feel like us Spurs fans, and it's probably, you know, it's obvious
as well.
Yeah, it's true. But I think Spurs fans put a lot more kind of focus and gravitas behind the Europa League win than probably anyone outside of Tottenham. Because we were dying so much for a trophy and we've won the Europa League, like, I think we look at it like as a lot of a bigger success than people outside of Tottenham do.
Yeah, because we're fans, of course.
Yeah,
obviously, like, we're the ones we're the ones enjoying that win, and we're the ones at the parade. So obviously, that was a glorious day for us. It wasn't necessarily a glorious day for, you know, Mbeumo watching on, like, okay, they did well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying incredible. Is, if we were to win something big, or, you know, win, you know, I'm not going to say a proper trophy because I think the Europa League is a proper trophy, but it's still like the second tier of European football. Like, people outside will be looking at being like, wow, Tottenham are actually going places. But winning the Europa League and finish 17th, no one outside of Tottenham are looking at being like, wow, Tottenham are going places.
No, but I think it's a platform to build off was the point, and we didn't build off it.
Yeah.
I feel like
But how do you build off it?
You get, look, if the decision is to sack Ange, you get a real ambitious manager who has the ambition to take you back very quickly to challenging, and you have a much more ambitious window than we did. And you show that you make the case that 17th was a one-off.
But we tried to have that ambitious window, but players were rejecting us.
Yeah, because I don't think we sold the project very well, because I think Frank's the wrong guy. That's the main thing. Let's say we appoint, I don't know, let's say just for example, we appointed Alonso. Right?
Yeah, which is unattainable.
Okay,
but someone
Alonso,
that's attainable
like,
then.
I'm just saying, someone like a proper, ambitious attacking manager who wants to dominate, that's a project to sell. Like, and all of a sudden, we're going to be back at the top. And we didn't do that. We went for a manager who wants to consolidate mid-table, essentially. And that's not that right now, You want a manager who's you'll believe, okay, we're in the Champions League and we're going to be back in there again. And maybe they can sell that properly with Frank.
But how can they sell the project under Ruben Amorim where it was just going horribly wrong?
It's Man United.
Yeah, but it's a Man United in their worst form.
Still Man United. They're still the biggest club in the world. That's the reality. So that's you're in a different stratosphere if you're a Man United player. That's just the truth. And it's a chance to rebuild that club. Whereas Tottenham, if you're we could sell them Spurs.
They've been looking at so many players going into Manchester United and getting chewed up and eaten out and not being able to make a success of themselves.
Yeah, but they all believe they could be different.
And then going to somewhere else and actually doing really well.
But they believe all these players have belief in themselves. They believe they could be the ones to change it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And they're being offered Tottenham, okay, come to us and play under Frank, who's given is he properly selling it like we're going to be challenging next season, or is he like, what, we have to improve on 17th? What's the messaging when he's selling that project? I don't know from behind closed doors, but when you've got Man United basically probably telling them, look, we're going to be trying to go for, we're going to be in the Champions League next season. We're maybe even going to try and go for a title. We're going to go for big things. Whereas at Tottenham, we're like, yeah, we finished 17th last season. We just need to, we need to stabilise all this kind of stuff. It's like,
But that wasn't the message. The message was we're going to challenge on all four fronts. Not that we're going to stabilise.
Yeah, were we convincing on that though?
I mean, nobody was convinced, but I'm sure within the club when they're selling it, they were able to sell it to Javi. They were able to sell it to Kudus.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's a difficult one. I just feel like I don't know why we're not as attractive as Manchester United. Because for me, Manchester United and Spurs were in just as a mess of each other in the summer. And I guess it's the name that they're buying. That's all it is.
Money as well. They probably offered more. I don't know.
And also Morgan Gibbs-White. Like, ultimately, no matter what you want to say happened behind the scenes, he ended up signing a new contract and staying at Nottingham Forest over coming to Tottenham. And he could have easily kicked up a fuss and joined Tottenham if he really wanted to.
He didn't have a gun to his head.
You know what I mean? No, but seriously, he folded like a pack of cards, Morgan Gibbs-White, in the summer, and ended up signing a contract at Forest instead of joining us. He could have easily joined us.
Could he? I think he tried.
I think if he would have kicked up a fuss, he didn't try.
He did.
I don't think he tried hard enough, because otherwise he wouldn't have signed a new contract.
Wouldn't have his life.
Come on, that would never have happened. They're not going to kill him.
You say that. I don't know if you read up about Marinakis, man. I wouldn't want to be on his wrong side.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it was short-term pain for long-term gain for him. Like, he could have kicked up a fuss, got his transfer, and never had to speak to Marinakis ever again. What could have he actually been threatening him with?
I think it was a very complicated situation.
Yeah, but what could he have threatened him with?
I don't know, but I think for Gibbs, I wanted it, and Marinakis just made sure he didn't get it. I
think he wanted it, but he didn't want it. He didn't want to kick up too much of a fuss.
Maybe.
Anyway, we went off on a bit of a tangent there, but let's move on. A Squawker saying, João Palhinha made more tackles and more clearances than any other Tottenham player against Man City. He also won 7 of his 8 duels. Monstrous display from João Palhinha. Yeah, as a centre-back, filled in at centre-back, phenomenal. And, all fearing the worst, Romero goes off. But I think Palhinha really stepped up. And, yeah, it's a role that I think we just got to persist with for him at the moment, because I just think he just looks more comfortable there. He's less, he's got more composure. He's got more time on the ball. And I think, he's not asked to do things he's not comfortable with when he's in that role. Yeah, I mean, we've seen kind of players transform from like a central defensive midfielder to a centre back. You know, like Fabinho and people like that.
Dyer.
I know Dyer.
Well, kind of Dyer will centre back to centre mid, back to centre back.
Yeah. But you know, when Dyer was in central midfield, he kind of formed that back three anyway. But yeah, we've seen that. So are we starting to see that with Jalpalini now? Potentially.
Yeah, I think that's a role he could play.
Up to Joe saying, Javi Simmons made 5 passes breaking the opposition defensive line versus Manchester City. No player has made more in a Premier League match this season. Wow.
There you go. And that's, if there's any proof that you needed that he's really growing into the Premier League and into the role, I think there it is. And that's, you know, no surprise. You know, we get him involved centrally and we get him on the ball in those dangerous areas and he can provide.
Next one, Spurs pictures that go hard. Oh, this has got to be a dagger into Chelsea's hearts, this picture.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
Look at
Conor
that smile.
Gallagher loving life
Fully
at Tottenham
COYS.
Hotspur.
He's fully COYS.
Chelsea from birth.
Tottenham for life.
I love that. Go on, big up Conor Gallagher. Tottenham, a word for this man, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm sure he was being shown the love on the ground, but yeah, he's becoming a fan favourite, isn't he?
Yeah. We need a proper song that we can get around the stadium for him. Spurs Army saying Vicario doing Vicario things.
Yeah, we saw as well Haaland, he was being wrestled to the ground by Dragusin and Udogie before a corner, but the referee, the VAR decided it wasn't a penalty because the main contact was before the corner was taken. I thought we got away with that a bit. It kind of just gives that means like before a corner say you can kind of just do whatever you want.
Yeah,
which is a bit
ridiculous.
of a weird one. And Vicario, I think, was just taking the piss a bit here.
Leah says, "Oh, just Timothy, you were great on the watch long,
Big
great
up to
commentary
Costa.
and analysis." Javi Simmons gamed by numbers: 1 assist, 4 chances created, 4 most dribbles with 4, most foul player with 4, 5 out of 5 long balls, 2 out of 5 successful crosses, and 7 ball recoveries as well.
Yeah, phenomenal performance, wasn't it? Absolutely phenomenal.
Look at this one. Aura. Luka Vuskovic celebrating with his fans in Hamburg yesterday.
What a player.
An equaliser against Bayern Munich for Hamburg.
Apparently it was phenomenal as well. And you know what? I saw his individual highlights. First of all, he nearly scored in the first half, which I think got cleared off the line. He then scored, and then right at the end of the game, he plays an inch perfect through ball on the run for the Hamburg striker, who then passes it to his teammate to have an open goal, and it gets cleared off the line. So Vuskovic was so nearly basically setting up a winner as well. The guy, you know, see what Lothar Matthäus said about him?
No.
He said he's an 18-year-old, but he plays like a 30-year-old who's played at 3 World Cups.
Bring him home,
That's
man.
what he said.
Bring him home. That's what I say. Bring him home.
Can we recall him, you reckon?
I don't know. I don't know what the clauses are in the contract, but I'm sure we could have at the beginning of the window. Probably not now.
He's just a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Man of the match in this game as well. What a player. And a brilliant header as well.
So you're saying, I know Kane scored, but you locked down Harry Kane?
Apart from the goal, absolutely.
Chris says the Tottenham twerk. So this was the moment Pape Sarr was defending with his ass.
This is what you call defending. But you know what's fun? Like, it actually was good. Like, it was good defending. Like, because I think Haaland really is coming in. Is getting in the back there, and that little movement I think just takes it away from him. It's actually class from him.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. James
From Sarr.
James Madison on Instagram to Solanke. Effing Bagsman. And that's exactly what Solanke has been since coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
The variety of goals he scored as well.
Yeah, some brilliant finishes, and yeah, he's really providing. I mean, you might say he got a bit lucky with 2 of them, the one against Dortmund and the first one yesterday, maybe a bit lucky, but this goal and the goal against Frankfurt, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Spurs Statman says Javi Simmons is not only getting more touches in the attacking third, but in recent games, those touches have been increasingly come in central areas, unsurprisingly leading to more chances created and his best performances.
Yeah, you look at the bar chart, you just see a trend, isn't it? Like in the recent, we're in the way, but you can see like a recent trend here, like in terms of. So the lighter colour is central and the darker one is out wide. So he's having more touches in central areas, like as the season's gone on. You can see that quite clear. There's a clear trend. And also more touches in general.
Yeah.
So you can see there's a clear trend. And then there's no surprise here. You look at that. That's led to his improvement. The fact that there's much more attacking. Then the numbers here, you can see touch in the central areas. The most have been the recent games, like Man City, West Ham, Frankfurt. Brentford's been one of the Slavia. So all of his better games have been when he's had more touches centrally.
Absolutely.
So that goes to show what we need to be doing and what we haven't been doing.
Love it. Growing and growing, Javi Simmons. Henry Winter says, Javi Simmons looking more in tune with the physicality and the pace of the Premier League. 4 successful dribbles, 1 assist, more confident, bolder, and giving Tottenham Hotspur more creativity in the second half. Needs from the start, but definitely settling in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think most Tottenham fans are seeing.
This next one is hilarious. Conor Gallagher looks like he kicks a water bottle or something into the fans, and he realised where it's gone. It's probably hit someone. Yeah, he's like, "What the hell?"
Archie Gray seems to be taking seeing the funny side. But yeah, Conor Gallagher has to apologise after, I don't know what he's hit there. Does anyone in the crowd know? Does anyone in the chat know exactly what the situation was there? Did he hit someone in the face? Because he seemed very apologetic. Luckily, nothing obviously came of it. Maybe the fan, whoever got hit, was just too happy that we equalised to even care. But there you go.
Adam Nathan, we are the flick, the trick, the 30-yard of free kick.
And he said that's in conjunction with how we were actually warming up. And it was just defending set pieces. Apparently, this was something a lot of people picked up on. First of all, some people came early to the game. I've heard a few people talk about this. First of all, the majority was just working on defensively set pieces, not even attacking, just defensive set pieces. We're just drilling that over and over, which is obviously horrible to see. And also, apparently, for the majority of the warm-up, we were defending in a back 4, and then we ended up starting in a back 5. So people were very confused by that. People maybe theorising, is it to throw City off? Maybe to make them think we're playing in a back 4?
Well, it looked like it was because of the pre-planned sub at half-time.
Or maybe it's also because there was a pre-planned sub. So, and also people noticed we're concentrating on working on defensive set pieces, yet it wasn't Vicario in goal.
Who was in goal? Kinski.
So it's like, well, how much help did that do? Vicario has been one of the ones you need in that situation.
They're priming Kinski for his time in goal is coming soon.
Yeah, so, also just to go to show where exactly the focus is, where before the game was just drilling set pieces. Like, couldn't work on the open play stuff a bit. But you know what? We did turn it around second half, so there you go.
No context, Thomas Frank in. We have our Spurs back. What is that smile?
AI
looks like
smile.
the Joker.
It has to be AI smiles. You don't see Frank smiling too much these days, but fair enough.
He was definitely smiling at the end of the game yesterday. No context, Tottenham. This is Solanke. I don't feel nothing. Dead. Empty.
You didn't feel nothing watching that goal? I don't know. Maybe felt a bit. Felt alive for a moment.
Look at that, the positioning of his.
Yeah, how does he
just?
I don't know how he scores that, man. How does he get that in with the studs? It's like he flicked it in with the studs.
Mad.
Is that the best volley you've ever seen?
Definitely the best one in recent times. I can't remember. The one that's coming to my mind on my head is that Canute kind of like half volley was against Leicester.
Against Everton.
Everton,
from
yeah,
30
Everton.
Yards.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable as well. That was a mad one. Bale against Stoke.
Yeah, that was incredible.
That was like knee high. That was like shoulder
that's
high.
the best one in the new stadium for sure.
Best volley you've ever seen in the new stadium. There you go.
Lyle Thomas, Solanke's quote after the game saying, "I just rolled my ankle a bit, but I'll be fine."
We've heard that one before.
Exactly, you know what I mean? When I heard that quote last night, I was just like, oh God.
See you in 2027.
Yeah. Billy T saying, Sarr casually saving us with his arse. Up to Joe saying, Manchester City failed to win a match they led by 2+ goals at half-time for the first time since April 2018 against Manchester United. Before today, they had won on each of the last 115 occasions when leading 2+ goals at the break. 115 for 115 charges.
It's also mad. That's the first time in 115 games that they failed to win. So
Yeah.
bit of history from Spurs. Fair
There
play.
you go. Thomas Frank is cooking. XG philosophy 0.04 x goals, 1 x filth.
Absolutely, phenomenal. Just quickly though, back on what Joe was saying, they had said it was the first Tottenham haven't won a game when trailing 2-0 at half time. Do you know since when?
What, since the Emirates?
Since the Emirates.
Wow.
That's the last time we won a game by trailing 2-0 at half time.
What about Steven Bergwijn? What was the situation
We
there?
weren't losing 2-0. It was 2-1.
That was 2-1 at half time. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was 2-0 at any point.
Was it not?
No.
Did it go 1-1?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
But how mad is it? That
is
winning
crazy.
The Emirates is the last time we did
That is crazy. Chris Cowlin, Thomas Frank enjoyed that.
Yeah, you can see that relief on him, just lifting from him after. I think I went 2-2 when we equalised. Just a big weight off his shoulders when we scored that goal.
He went off the pitch like a hero yesterday, Thomas Frank. I don't know if you saw him going into the tunnel.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he was like high-fiving everyone. He was like...
That's what a point will do for you.
He was proper living in the moment yesterday. Spurs watch, just that empty concourse again. Jan Vertonghen, third time I witnessed the Puskas winner now. So obviously,
what's the other times?
So he was there for Sonny, Lamela, and now he was there for the third time.
Also, this is an interesting one. So this Yusuf Akramrich.
Yeah.
Did you see? So he made his debut for Bristol Rovers on Saturday. His debut, first game, scored 2 absolute belters.
Cool. We're making a kind of theme with this, like 2 goals on your debut. Iro did it a few weeks ago. Tyrese Hall, didn't he do it? Or one of his first few games?
Yeah, but this is Tyrese Hall did it, yeah, but this is a guy who hasn't been talked about that much. He's been a bit of hype. He's been on the bench a few times, but obviously he's got his loan move and for Bristol, and look, he seems to be...
He's actually been one of the standout performers for the under-21s this season at Cromwich.
So, but he's doing it straight away for League One level.
League One, is it?
Bristol, maybe it's League 2. Bristol Rovers, League 2.
League 2.
But he's 21st in League 2, and he's scored 2 goals.
He's going to save him from relegation.
For what goals he scored straight away? Brilliant goals.
Unbelievable. Oh, that was a banger, that one.
Yeah, but that's a banger, and the second goal was also class. Like, long ball forward. Look how he controls this.
Oh, Yusuf, you dirty little rascal.
So big up to him, not one to watch out for between now and the end of the season.
Hotspur Way is flourishing right now. It really is.
You need to find a way of getting a pathway to the...
I've got a way to do that. Bring Poch home.
All right, that's it.
All right, that is the way the internet did react to the game yesterday. Just a quick